We're all the way here. Hmm.
Thank you, Joseph. Thanks for being here. I was telling Aaron that I'd been listening to that peaceful prosperity, abundance, or peaceful course that you did, and the meditation. And something just kind of clicked in the sense that I had this sense that everything within me is me, but also the energy outside of me is me too. There was sort of like this feeling that, and me in the sense of the higher divine energy, source energy, it's sort of like I can't not be me, both within and without. Like it felt like this very strong knowing that, you know, I am in all, and that kind of God source channeling through me happens within my body, within my mind, within my spirit, and within the world. And it's all connected.
It is.
Okay.
But you didn't figure that out. That's what the true meaning of consciousness is that awareness. And it's not a formula, it's not a creed, it's not a specific set of ideologies for you to accept and to pass on or to write down or anything like that, but it's what we call the energetic experience. And so now that you've had the experience, you're looking to translate it into words or into your physical understanding. And we want you to know that that happens automatically. That happens through the power of that energy. That's going to happen. That translation, that specification, that detail, that refinement is going to happen. In fact, it must. So, continuing to prioritize the energetic experience is going to bring all of the sort of seemingly loose ends together to tie them up. Don't try too hard to figure it out, to find the exact words or phrases, or even to put it into context, because again, that process is the natural extension of your choice to exist within and as that energy. Our words, the courses, meditations, anything that we're doing in these conversations is just to bring you back to that experience. Now, words can be helpful stepping stones, but again, the understanding, the personal meaning of that energetic experience comes as a natural outflowing. So, how does it happen? You choose the state of being, you choose that energy, you felt that merging, you felt the oneness. Well, now you're a magnet. Now there's one steady signal. Now there's one consistent energy being offered. And more thoughts are going to be drawn to that. That's what people call the law of attraction. More thoughts are going to be drawn to that. And the thoughts get more detailed, they get more refined. And you know that this is happening because you recognize the energy moving faster and faster. It intensifies. The good feeling gets gooder. The images that you start to see take on more detail. Actions start to occur to you. But let the process continue because that's life. That's life for you here in this physical body, is to make that energetic connection and then witness and enjoy as physical circumstances align themselves to portray, to display, to express, to manifest that energetic connection, that energetic reality. So thoughts lead to more thoughts, lead to more feelings, lead to more thoughts, lead to perhaps images or inclinations, lead to more detail, lead to impulses, lead to action, lead to manifestation.
It feels like it's almost in another vibration or another frequency. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like whoosh, like this expansion. and um, and it was very cool. Very this kind of realization was very, because all of a sudden I realized that you know what I desire, what I feel and think and experience is like part of this divine human interaction. It was powerful, very powerful, this kind of opening that occurred. Yeah. And I hear what you're saying, that it unfolds from there, that it kind of keeps going from there.
It does.
Yeah.
So there's always more, there's always a greater refinement, there's always more detail you can add to it. But the process we just sort of talked through here of things coming into physical manifestation, when the physical experience comes as a result of this process, there is that combustion of energy, which then propels you to the next stage. So when you're listening to words such as in this course, or you're following something that's allowing you to connect to that energy, you feel that combustion of energy because there's something bigger that's occurred. And you sort of send it out as a boomerang, and then it's drawn back to you. And when the physical experience occurs, there is another combustion of energy, and it feels like, yes, it feels like that is amazing. The opposite is true, of course. You can choose an angry thought and dwell with that. You can choose a frustrated thought. And when it comes back to you, you feel even more frustrated or even more angry than you did before. But when you've made the deliberate and conscious choice to connect with this inner energy, which is prosperity, which is abundance, which is wellness, which is enjoying your life, and it comes back to you, and you appreciate it and you enjoy it, and the fruit is ripe and ready for you, and you pluck it and you enjoy it, and you take that moment to savor it, to enjoy it, to really let everything go and to fully just revel in that experience. Well, there's another combustion of energy that then reaches out forward. And now you're drawing the next step to you. Now you're drawing the new idea. Now you're drawing more experiences, and it works for prosperity, as you're speaking of here. It works for in relationships. For those who are seeking one encounter leads to the next encounter, leads to the next encounter. It works. If you're looking for a physical solution, in other words, you have not been at peak health and you're looking for something more, the new idea comes in. And when you've attracted the solution and you enjoy the solution, and the next step to take it even further on this path of creative wellness is drawn to you. It is the same with all things. So the commonality that we would like you to recognize is the eternal inner energy,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
make that your choice, make that your criteria.
Hmm. Yeah. It feels like as I do that, as I make that my criteria and my choice, that other inspired ideas also come. I think this is
They
just what
do.
you're saying. And like I can feel, like in meditation, I can feel the energy, or even when I consciously, just raise my hands and concentrate on the energy of my heart, I can feel it in my hands. I can feel this energy, and I can also feel that I can send this energy and receive this energy physically. And like those that's like a newer idea that's come forward, and so I presume that. And another thing that happened was that we David met with this neurologist that is now checking into this other possibility of cause of his you know cognitive issues, and it felt like, wow, where did he come from? Where did he, like, he knows things that nobody else knows. And and then I'm in Connecticut with my friend, and she it's so funny. She wants to buy a house on Cape Cod, and she can definitely afford to buy this house. And she's trying to figure out how to do it and everything. But the funny thing is, so I'm coaching her a little bit, but the funny thing is that she has the exact amount of money that I had been visualizing for myself. She's doing the exact thing that I had been visualizing for myself. And I'm working with her on her process. So it's like all these things now sort of pop up that I can actually point to and say, yes, these are things that I've been asking for, in a, not in a, like, you know, in my own way, not expecting the outcome to be, one way or the other, but I've just been kind of asking for them. And here they are just showing up kind of without me having to do a lot of, control, manipulations, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. That feels like all part of this energy priority
It
in the,
is.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it starts out broad. It starts out as that lump of clay, and you have the vision of what you think it should be. And you're guided, your hand is guided to etch off a little here, and it starts to look a little more familiar, and it starts to look a little bit more familiar, and it starts to look a little bit more familiar. It's the refinement process. And then you're going about your day. You've set the sculpture aside for a moment, and you're going about your day, and you see something and you say, that's exactly my next step. Now I know what I want to add to that. Now I know what it feels like. Now I know what a person in that position speaks like. Now I see how they carry themselves. Now I see what the process that they're going through is. And now, now I have all of these new components to add to my visualization. More detail, more information, more specifics. And as I wrap that in, you say to yourself, with this vision, as I add all of the details, I know it's becoming more powerful because I feel it, because it feels stronger than it did the day before, because as I attract all of this information to me, and that's why we say it's a creative process. You don't hold to a visualization for the sake of the visualization. You don't hold to a visualization so that you can put it on the wall and show it off to everyone else. You hold to it because it's giving you life, and then all of the components necessary to take this to the next level, if you would, are drawn to you, and you enjoy the creative process, and things are constantly manifesting, showing themselves for you. Sometimes it's just for the opportunity to choose. In other words, you could see that home and say, I don't, this is not quite exactly what I thought I wanted. And we say, yes, it is. This is exactly what you wanted. You wanted this opportunity to refine your creative process. You wanted this opportunity to see the options that are available to you. You wanted this opportunity. And so it always is. You
Yeah.
wanted to go on the date with this person so that you could see that you actually don't enjoy the company of a lawyer, for instance. And we are being very general here, but you understand the refinement process and having all of the options continually being drawn to you for the enjoyment, not of getting it right, not of doing the right thing, not of sticking to this precise vision for the sake of it, but for being a creator. And feel there are two distinct emotional states of being there. One is, I have to visualize this, I have to stick to my guns. And the other is, ooh, more ideas, more information. I don't like that so much, but it's okay. I can let that go because I've also been given more information in terms of what I'd enjoy. And
Yeah.
it's the creative process.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Um, I, I was wondering also about, so when, if someone has a pre-birth intention, and talking about, to manifest an illness, and if that illness is, um, you know obviously it's affecting the person who's got the illness, but the people around that person as well have their own experience with that
Yes.
person and the illness. Is the purpose in that moment to, like, A Course in Miracles says that all illness is in the mind, and that, healing the mind is the answer, to all illness. It must be like the same way for everyone, around who's experiencing that situation, right? To heal the beliefs, or to heal the limitations, or to, the perceptions of someone as ill. Really, nobody's truly ill. It's just a experience that, that we're having, right? Do I have that right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
But as you call it, heal the mind in those terms, as you bring the balance in, then the physical actions are drawn to you as well. And we want you to accept those opportunities that are extended to you. In other words, if you're starving and you're hungry, we're not going to just tell you to release that and not feel the hunger. When someone, in other words, you're hungry, you're starving, and you shift the energy, and then food is given to you, we tell you to accept it.
Yeah.
The same is true with any illnesses as they are being seen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are benefits for everyone involved. Yes.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I totally believe, like, you know, the opportunities that come up and present themselves are there for us to also go further in the exploration of, the experience. So that's always an awesome, an awesome thing. I mean, sometimes you go down kind of dead ends, but then, sometimes you don't. So, in that whole idea then of going back to this feeling of expansion as, me being like this feeling of, me being the energy within and without, the, the, there's kind of a joy, if you will, in exploring, in then, okay, well, if this didn't work out, then, I'm not going to go looking for something else, but you can still be delighted and surprised about something else that might come along. It's like, it doesn't feel like anything is a dead end or a, like a,
And it
uh,
can be difficult to accept that when it's something that's really, really, really important to you, or something seemingly dire, or something seemingly necessary. But we want to use an analogy that may seem a little flippant, but it's as if you have the intention to get something for lunch and you are driving in your car, and then all of a sudden you take a stop for some reason, and right in front of you is something, and you say, oh, that's what I really, really want instead. And life can be that spontaneous, it can be that enjoyable, but it's only when you say, I am getting this cheeseburger and I've already set my mind to it and nothing can dissuade me from it, and I'm going to get it no matter what, that you
mhm.
miss out on the opportunities that are being always offered to you to continue to improve. And when we say improve, we're talking about improve your quality of life, because you have this non-physical energy that is aware of so much more than is ever necessary for your conscious mind to be available to your conscious mind. You don't have to think about your heart beating in the same way you don't have to be in control of the opportunities for what to have for lunch or which home to move into.
Yeah.
For instance, if it is a home and you have a vision, and then you're going about your day and you see another one for sale that is maybe a bit different, but as you contemplate it, the energy moves faster and calls you and moves faster and calls you. We say, don't stick with the old vision for the sake of the vision. Follow that energy. Even if it's just for the benefit of seeing something a little bit different, there's value in it for you. And that's what that calling is.
The intention of the universe, of the, of the higher self, of the energy, is to bring joy, to bring peace, to allow. I mean, yes, we have challenges because the soul perhaps
To
wants that
be
experience,
joy, to be peace.
to
And then
be.
more of that is brought to you.
Yes. Yes. And so that's the piece that really, like, I went, okay, if really everything is working for me, or everything is, supporting me in some way, then I don't need to be fearful of, any experience,
Because everything is working for me.
because everything is working for me. I don't need to be fearful of experiences. And yes, we may have these challenges that we're not aware of, but I've had those in my life. My gosh, where I, just you just end up angry and resentful and because of them. But at the same time, the opportunity to kind of move past that, or not even transcend it, but just to like see the value in it, the opportunity in it, has brought me to this place where I can understand that, it's all okay. It's all like working out. It's all for me.
It is.
For me. Yeah. 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 It's a pretty powerful perception, a pretty powerful consciousness, you know? It's freeing, very freeing. And I kind of like it because it creates in me this desire to really push past some boundaries that I might not have, in my perception, in my awareness, in my thinking about, you know, what I want.
Well, your inner energy is going to move through those boundaries. You don't have to push through them. You
Yeah.
just have to relax into the energy and let it carry you around.
Okay.
Like a river flows around the mountain. All you have to do is relax into that
Yeah. Yeah. Relax into it
and enjoy the ride. Yes.
and enjoy the ride. Yeah. Wee. Like a zip line.
Indeed.
Um, okay. So I did have one other question about uh, actually the idea of healing and using the energy, uh, the eternal energy of self to heal others. Like, do we have that ability to heal other people?
You
Is
have the ability to act as a facilitator.
okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Because I understand that we can't like, you know, assert ourselves into someone else's, you know,
You cannot.
experience. So,
And even if you could influence them or convince them or trick them into letting the energy in, it's only a matter of time until the old habits come back in.
yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. And the other thing about that is it's not we don't have to dig deep into the past, and you and I have spoken about this before, like dig into everything really deeply. It's important to feel our feelings and to recognize why things, why we feel things when we see things in the world, that's our feelings to deal with, but we don't have to like go back eons in our lives and dig through it and sort through it and put it into,
You do
all of it.
not.
Yeah.
But we also don't want to talk you into ignoring the past. And what we mean by that is, as you're moving through the journey, in the same way a new idea may come into your mind in terms of what to have for lunch, you also have images, memories, new ideas, intentions, experiences, some of the future, some of the past come to mind. That's part of the process as well.
Okay.
So you don't have to look for the resolution. The resolution, in the same way you felt that energy of prosperity, also leading to all of this other inspiration. The inspiration is another word for the resolution of. So let us say you had a disagreement with someone some years ago and you had not found the solution. Instead of trying to look back and figure it out and put it into context and do any of that, you just relax into this inner energy, live your life, and the idea will just pop into your mind.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of how it happens. Okay. Yeah. So the now moment, in this moment right now, we have all of those sorts of resolutions, inspirations. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Um, good.
it is.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Um, I just want to say that, in working with you, that especially, I don't know, this past month, and maybe I've said this before, but it feels like so much of what I've kind of desired and thought about, but not like, have to have it, but just allowed myself to kind of feel into it, is coming forward. It's really starting to, and the beauty of it is, it isn't about the thing, it's about the joy of the experience of, then, as you said, appreciating it when it shows up, or feeling like I'm more interested in how it feels sometimes. um, Being at a reception for an artist at someone's beautiful home, like really enjoying that, the art and the people and the moment and the sunlight and the deck and the mountain, and like all of the beauty that is comes with the experience. It feels so multifaceted and so rich, and I think it's the energy, like just showing me all of these wonderful things, my connection with this amazing journey, this life. It's cool.
It is, and that is life.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. Good.
It is.
Well, I don't have anything else. I just wanted to thank you for that.
The multifaceted expression. Inner energy, you could see it as that white light flowing through the prism that is you. This unique personality, expressed, reflected, manifested as a beautiful, multifaceted experience.
Mm, that's lovely.
It is.
Well, thank you, Joseph. Thank you so much for all your guidance. Really appreciate it.
It's an enjoyable experience and it's a good life.
Yeah, it is. I'm very grateful.
Very much. Anything else here?
No, I don't think.
Enjoy it. We are complete. I
Aaron, thank you so much.